I wanted to show you how much of an impact swapping out a couple of key samples can really have on a song. I'm gonna play the before and then I'll switch to the after. And it's the same track, right? It's volume matched, it has the same drum pattern, it has the same bass line, but the after feels a lot punchier and a lot tighter. And the main reason I was able to make this big of a change is by swapping out the kick, the main snare clap sample, and the main hi-hat sample. Before swapping out any of these samples, I made sure that I was on the same page as the artist. But instead of reaching for a bunch of EQs and saturators and transient designers and all that stuff to try and make the kick and the clap and the hi-hat into something that they weren't, it's gonna save you so much time and a headache and usually get you to a better result if you can just start with some good samples. That is gonna move the needle so much more for your mix than like over processing shit. And you might be thinking like, but you swapped out the sample. Like what if the artists really like that sample? And you're right. And I mean, that's why with mixes, we can always go back to how they had it. Worst case scenario, I send it back and the artist says, you know what, love how the mix is sounding. It's in the right direction, but I really like the sound of that old clap or that old kick. Totally fine. You're not hurting my feelings. We can go back and we can revisit it. But again, this is kind of why it's important to like talk to the artist beforehand, understand what their direction is. And I will usually just flat out ask them, if I think it's going to benefit the track, are you okay if I swap out a sample or two? If the artist is really attached to something, they'll tell me before I even start. They'll be like, you know what, I looked for this snare drum forever and I love it. I love the snap of it. Let's just leave it as is. Cool. But if they don't say something along those lines and I think that there might be a better sample that will accomplish the same job, then I'll try swapping it out, knowing that we can always go back to the original. So with all that said, hopefully this is just a quick reminder to search for good samples before processing stuff. And if you find a good sample, save it to a favorites folder so you're not always starting from square one. Hope this helps.